Hi, how you doing, and welcome back to another video on the channel. What we have for you today is our preview video going into Game Week 7. We're going to take a look at how my team did in Game Week 6, as well as my transfer thoughts and team selection moving forward. If you are new to the channel, please do like and subscribe. It is free and it's really appreciated. We're a small channel trying to grow, and the support on the latest video, the wildcard video for Game Week 7, was awesome, so thank you very much for that. Let's take a look at my team. So until last night when Bournemouth played Southampton, I was actually on for a green arrow, about 15k, but when you 190k overall, that's quite good. I've actually had a red arrow because of that. I guess a lot of people have owned Semenyo around my sort of rank. So I'm just dropped down to around 200k. But overall it wasn't the worst thing in the world. Like, we had some good defensive returns. Gvardiol finally did something, and Robinson got a clean sheet and some bonus. And then Mbeumo scored in the first minute again, which was good. And the transfer we made, which was Isak to Havertz, really paid off as well. So the two transfers, Mbeumo and Havertz, got us points. And without those transfers, we would have really been struggling. So Watkins also got a goal and assist. The only problem is, as well, is a Haaland blank. But it's the first time he's blanked all season, so I'm totally fine with him taking the week off in FPL terms and just getting the 4 points. That happens. And I think really when Haaland blanks, so many people already own him and so many people captain him that we're kind of all in the same boat. So it's almost like you just need Haaland to keep up with everyone else, and then it's your other players that score you points. So I was a bit disappointed that Kevin Schade from Brentford came off in the 59th minute just for 1 point. He's getting chances, and he's only 5.4 million, but when someone like Dwight McNeil gets you 14, 15 points elsewhere, that's a big swing at this stage of the season. So it was okay, but there's a couple of maybe transfer moves that we're going to talk about later in the video. But overall, after 6 weeks to be 200k, that's fantastic. Hopefully we can stick around there until game week 10 and then reassess what we want to do for this season. So the fixtures for this game week is pretty crammed on the Saturday. Again, we've got 3 games on the Sunday as well. In terms of captaincy, I think, Haaland again, it's kind of getting a bit repetitive, but when it's staring you in the face, like we said before, you don't need to overthink it. Sometimes it is the most obvious choice that pays off, and we put a bit too much in, maybe looking at, trying to get a differential, but it's not the time of season for differentials. It's the time of the season to sort of try and stay with the group for as long as you can, and then look for differentials maybe later on. I think Arsenal at home to Southampton is a great fixture as well, but which player would you captain? I have Havertz and Saka. I could easily captain either one, and then the other one could do just as well. So it's really hard to make that call, and if you don't want to sort of risk that situation, I would definitely go with Haaland. I think Salah away at Crystal Palace is good as well. Crystal Palace haven't been defending great, but again, Liverpool, they're more likely to spread the returns out across the team, and if Salah didn't get that penalty in the last game, he would have blanked as well. So I think from open play, Haaland is the best option, and we don't really need to take it any further. I guess if you really wanted Watkins against Man United at home, at the moment, that looks like a good fixture as well. The writing's kind of on the wall for Man United. But then if you've got Haaland at home or Watkins at home, I just don't see why you would go for Watkins at this stage of the season. So the team for this game week is looking pretty good, and we've been having sort of these game weeks, like the last couple, where the fixtures haven't been great, but we've got a lot of players who we want long term. So that's why I've not wildcarded to this point. And this game week actually looks like a really good game week for my team, which, when that looks the case, it's often the opposite and you end up not doing as well as you wanted. But we do have a lot of home fixtures. We've only got Leif Davis in the starting lineup, I think, who is away from home, which is brilliant, really, on paper. So I have one free transfer. I've got 0.7 million in the bank. And looking at my team, the only area that I would really consider making a change in at the moment is the midfield. So a lot of my players are either consistent point scorers like Saka, Haaland, Watkins, and Mbeumo, Havertz, or they've got good fixtures where they could score points like Mykolenko, Leif Davis, Gvardiol, Kevin Schade. So the only real change could be Eze right now, but I've only got one free transfer, like I say, and only 0.7 million in the bank. So I could eventually transfer out Saka to Foden or Palmer, but taking Saka out with Southampton up next doesn't make sense to me. You know, a couple of weeks when Arsenal have that tough run of fixtures, I probably don't want Saka and Havertz. So the one that would drop out would probably be Saka at this stage, just because I think I can get a good enough returns in the Arsenal attack with Havertz and save nearly 2 million, which could be invested elsewhere. If I did take out Eze to someone like McNeil, I could then do Saka to Palmer, and then I'd be 0.1 million short doing Robinson to Saliba, but that's not something I want to do at the moment anyway. So with the Eze transfer, an option could be Semenyo. So he's got Leicester next, and I'd save 1.1 million by buying him now. But then he also has Arsenal, Villa, and Man City after that, when Eze has Forest, Spurs, and Wolves, and then Fulham. So it's one of those ones where I'm kind of okay to keep Eze for this game week and ride out that Liverpool fixture, because I've got enough cover in the rest of my team to score points, and then Eze can be that cover for other players maybe in the next few game weeks when their fixtures maybe aren't quite as good. I could also go for McNeil and save even more, but I feel like it's a bit point chasey, you know, and I'm fully aware that it could be one of those where McNeil could have an amazing run of point scoring now. But he's also one of those who I think he's blanked 3 times in 6 games already, and you know, that's kind of like what Eze's been doing as well. So am I swapping like for like? Like if I went from, you know, it's a bit like the Jota Diaz situation. You know, one of them scores and you move to him, and then the other one scores, so you move back. You know, if I move off of Eze to McNeil, Eze could score and McNeil blanks, and I'm thinking, you know, so I kind of want to stick with Eze for now. I also don't know what I would do with the extra money I would save by selling Eze to someone cheaper. I think because I don't have a second free transfer, I don't want to take a points hit right now. And there's the international break coming up after this game week, and I would definitely rather go into the international break with 2 free transfers. I think that's really valuable. Last international break, I went in with 3 because I hadn't made a transfer so far that season. So to go in with 2, it just gives you that flexibility for injuries as well, you know, and I can reinvest the funds elsewhere that I might save. You know, if a player gets injured, I go for a cheaper player. Then I can actually use those funds to benefit my team. Whereas if I used that transfer this game week, kind of just twiddling my thumbs, waiting for another transfer to become free, and then if somebody gets injured in international break, I'm a bit stuck. So it's likely I'll roll the transfer. But if you can see any obvious, you know, transfers that would benefit my team for the next few game weeks, I know that this game week the McNeil pick is probably better than Eze, but hopefully I've explained why I wouldn't want to do that right now. But let me know in the comments any changes you'd want to do with your team as well, you know, any questions, and let me know if you think there's anything obvious that I'm missing with my team. So thank you very much for listening. Hopefully this video has helped you out. If it has, please like and subscribe. Like, it is really appreciated. It's really cool. Like the last video, go check out that wildcard video as well, just to see the positivity on it. And if you've got, you know, any criticisms of my team as well, I'm always happy to hear it and then try and justify what I'm doing. So yeah, thank you very much for listening. Good luck in this game week. Hopefully you've had a good game week in the last one as well, and I will see you in the next one.